Once again, good evening from Europe. My name is Jamal Kamara. Tonight with me on the borderline is Francis Monumensa, Lean for Ego Goet. Once again, good evening. Thanks for joining us. January 20th, 2026. This is Tuesday edition. I want to say welcome again. I want to welcome my colleague. We got a couple of issues to discuss, international issues as well as issues from Liberia. Now, we'll be speaking to our colleague who just flew back from Liberia. He was part of the diaspora conference in Liberia. Tell us what did you get from there. In the meantime, we'll tell you also what happened. Guys, Liberians are less giving people gun to carry, and also the what's that? Brian McGill, who was accused of rape, he's being exonerated. He's free to go. We'll discuss that. And the Liberians abroad are fighting to vote to take part in elections in Liberia. Those are issues we'll be discussing for Liberia. And we'll be going also to discuss some issues on the international scene. But I would just take a quick break. We'll come back. I would go to Lynn for or Paul to tell us what they got from the international desk. Just give me a quick break. We'll take a quick break. What we got here? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, The Born Liberia. I want to welcome the president himself, Mr. Francis Monumensa. Welcome, boss.
Yeah, thank you, Jamal. Happy New Year to you guys, your team. I just want to extend my deepest appreciation to you guys for keeping the program alive. So thank you very much and welcome. To our audience.
And I say, I know you'll be telling us much about what happened. You just came back from Liberia, I think a week or two from Liberia. You were part of the Liberia Diaspora Conference in Liberia as the president of Europe, the Liberian Federation in Europe, and you tell us what happened, where you get it from, what you took away from the meeting in Liberia, and that'll be a good thing I want to hear from you. So, but anyway, you are right now in Sweden. How does it look like? For your end.
Oh, Sweden, it's kind of cool, man. The snow is all around. I came back. I met the snow, from having a lot of fun in the sun, the heat. But the cold, and it struck me. I was down for a week, a couple of days. I just got back to work. I still got some, especially symptom of cold, but it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll come back to Francis to tell us about his trip in Liberia. He was in Liberia recently for the Liberian Diaspora Conference, invited by the president of Liberia, so you will tell us. But let me go to our colleague in Norway, studio, CO08. Evan Goel. How are you, sir? How are you there today, friend? I think you guys will always complain about cold. And tell me, I know it's snow at highest level in the area. Linford.
Well, we doing fine. We're doing pretty well here in Norway. Weather-wise, we had a downpour of snow on the west coast. Was a snowstorm. Their snow is not that much like we have, but since they have different topography and they have different kind of weather, a little bit warmer than us in the mountain area. So their snow is mixed with water. So when they have much snow like that, it becomes very bad to drive on the road, especially when it goes beyond zero. So it was a lot of accident, a lot of cars ended up in the trenches and stuff like that. But here up in the mountain, we've had a lot of snow. My other car was parking for like one whole week because I couldn't start. So I had to move almost 50 inches of snow from it before I could try to start it. So, it's a lot of snow, but we love it. And the temperature has been very stable in the lower minus. That was in the higher minus, rather. That was around 5, 6. Even today, it was 4 throughout constantly. But in the weekend, we are expecting that it's going to be going to 18 degrees again. So we expect that it's going to be cooler. But life is good and everything is okay, and we are hanging in there. And I just want to say welcome back to the bottom line Liberia, to our colleague Francis Mensa. I follow one of his posts where he posted about the pleasure that he had in Liberia, and no wonder why he got sick.
Anyway, we will be talking to Francis. Francis is the president of the Federal Library Association in Europe, and he has been for the. I think last year, Francis has attended two major events of a Liberian in the interest of Liberia. West Liberians living in Europe. Francis, he told us about what happened. He was in US somewhere last year, late last year, and early this year. Late last year, he was in Liberia to attend the diaspora conference. And there are a lot of things to discuss. Francis will tell us. But Linford, what you get for us before we go back to Francis to tell us what you got from Liberia. What is it from your end?
Well, I have only one piece of story which is of interest to me. Probably I could make it two if time will permit us. But the major one training is these elections in Uganda, where there are very ugly news coming from concerning the whereabouts of the major opposition leader Bobby Wine, and there was a video where Bobby Wine spoke from his heart out, and a lot of people were speculating that he was adopted during the late night raid on his home from somewhere. He and his wife managed to escape. So that tells me that he's still alive or he's still doing that. And so the Pan African movement, I think, is based in Kenya, and it comprises of many African countries. They have issued a statement to the international community to try to intervene regarding the situation in Uganda. So that statement I have it's quite long. It's about if I'm not mistaken, around 20 minutes, but it's all worth it to listen to part of it if we cannot roll the whole thing. But it's worth it, and they will outline some of the things that have been happening, and they are calling on the international community. So that's a major news that I have from the international side.
Right. We'll take a musical break. We'll come back and we'll go straight to the point. Like we said, we got issues. We got three major news for Liberia. Today we'll be discussing the release, the exoneration of Brian McGill, the deputy minister who was accused of rape in Liberia, the security police, or the chief police chief, the GRG has the inspector general has exonerated him. That means he's free to go. He's not of no crime. And also, we'll be talking about 236, I think, people in Liberia are allowed to carry guns. Citizens, while they carry a gun, we'll let you know. And not the they say how to call it. Among them also have issues about Liberia living abroad. They are voting. They want to take part in the elections in Liberia. They want to vote. So we'll be discussing that as well. Those are the major news we got from today. Paul will also got something from his international desk. Paul, what do you get?
Oh, good evening, gentlemen. It's good to be back on the borderline discussion. Oh, good to see you, friends. It's been a while. Well, before I start, I want to say that it's good to be among the living, and I'm happy to be in paradise this evening. It's good to see all of you. We'll be on the international thing. I heard Linford talking about Bobby Wine, which is quite serious in East Africa. We'll look into that. And also we'll look at the World Cup this year. Trump is now going to ban 74 countries, and all of those 74 countries, 15 of those countries qualify for the World Cup. And their citizens may not be going, including the coaches. So with the work, people are now calling for the World Cup to be boycotted in America. So this will be something we'll be looking at. This is ICE is arresting people who are they claim to be illegal immigrants. So we'll be looking at should FIFA now move the World Cup to Mexico and Canada instead of the US. That would be something we'll look at. So guys, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much for what you got from the international desk, Paul. The Lord Cholo, please tell you what you got from the international desk. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Maurice Dolly is away today. He's not about tonight. So yeah, I think probably maybe join us later tonight. But we want to say welcome. We're gonna go to our musical break, as I said. While we're doing that, I want you to please share the show. We'll come back and go right into the show. Buckle up. Yeah. Find my, where's our stuff? Okay.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay, they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for us. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us. This is the Born Liberia. Jamal Kamara is my name. My colleagues on tonight. Tonight, we have our guest. A kind of a guest. He's not a guest, but he's also part of this show. But he's a special person to us. He's the president of the Liberian Federation in Europe, Mr. Francis Mona Mensah, who was in Liberia at the end of the year to attend the Liberian Diaspora Conference called by the President of Governor of Liberia. We want to welcome and tell us what was the meeting about, what really happened, and what do you expect from him, what good thing we want to hear from him. So I'll go to my colleagues, probably they want to take the first shot. Linford or Paul, the president is here. He's in your company. Tell us, ask him your questions. Anyone can take the first shot. Linford or Paul.
Well, welcome back, friends. How was the palm butter? So, grow question. Tell us more about the palm butter and case me you had in Liberia during the Christmas before we can get into your celebration. I know they hope your work when they welcome the groom them home. They start with palm butter. How was it?
Yeah, you're missing the cola to the little pepper.
Oh, exactly.
So but it was good. First of all, first go further, I want to extend my deepest condolences to the former vice president of Liberia. She lost her son. On behalf of the Liberian community in Europe, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Madam former vice president and her family. And to my friend, I lost a good friend, a brother, Victor Dennis in America. So yeah, but guys, it's good to be back. Liberia, the palm butter, I like it in the morning. So most of the time, when I taste it and I save it for because I thought all the egg and bacon stuff. So I waited. They warm it in the morning. They put the palm butter first. Then they rice, then they put the palm butter on, and then they see the palm butter leaves stay there. Yeah, and then they take the kiss me on, and they don't put the kiss me like cross and thing. I really enjoy. So that was awesome. Yeah. But anyway, the trip in Liberia was good. I went there for two reasons. Basically three. First, I went to family matters, and they do some engagement on the ground, and then went to attend the the annual return. This is the third year, so to speak, in role. Second year, more organized. The annual return of Liberians to help organized by the diaspora office with the blessing from the president's office. So we were, this time the plane was very full. The plane, the SM Brussels flight was very full. One of the first times I'm going back to Liberia that the plane was so full. We got to Monrovia. It was Monrovia via Conakry. And I tell you guys, 95% of the people on the flight were Liberians. So this year we had a lot of Liberians in the country visiting, and the program was from this. It started, I think, around the 15th to the 7th of December or January. I actually attended because when I went to Liberia, I went to Liberia around the 19th. So they already had a couple of programs. But actually, when I got stuck, and then I had car to move, and then I had some problem with my stomach. So I actually, I was in contact, and I attended one of the event, which was the health, the health conference for and I have a lot of speakers, and I had a doctor, doctors, and technicians from the Ministry of Health. But just to sum up, it was also an experience. We had the Lip Fest, and a Fest organized by my friend Desmond Johnson and my friends Desmond Johnson and Lionel Bernard. Basketballers who play, who gave back to the community with sneakers, with what they needed, to teams and some community groups. and we have fun. It was okay, going back home, coming back, like it's like, coming back to the old folks home, but from work home, we got nothing to do, my man. So now you spend the whole day. I spent one day playing a Lulu with the neighbors. And then walking, I started playing Ludo. I started playing Ludo, ball, soldering and stuff. We play. Yeah, so but it was good. And they will have some engagements with the ministry. But we get on that topic, but let me just I see it's part of our topic regarding the out of country voting 2029. We met a couple guys from the legislature, especially House of Representatives. We had a meeting at the Boulevard Hotel. We presented, to the eminent Whitey and guy Erasmus Williams and some representatives. We sold the idea to them about 14 from 2029 in the diaspora. So we had a pitch out to them, and some were very optimistic, some were pessimistic concerning the time frame and the political implications. So yeah, but I will elaborate more on that when we get to it, and it's part of our talking point.
Yeah. Well, but before Linford chimed in, I mean, when you came back, you went into coma because back home you're playing Ludo with the people, having your late beer, excited to be. There's nowhere like home, and that feeling when you enter Liberia, you feel like, yeah, this is where I was born, and everything can just come back. You meet friends and family, all the la story in a town. You'll sit down, laugh, and have fun. So you're back now in the cold weather from work home. You watch boring CNN news, and then the next thing you're back to work. So just talk to all that feeling being home and being back here, and then
look,
come in.
It's a big contrast. You come from a society where people are more open. They are more. It's a collective society. Where you come back to our individualism society, where people are more about themselves, about self-center. I mean, you move around freely. I mean, like here abroad, but the thing is that the sticky point is that it's your home. I mean, you can go out, you can meet people, you can interact, you can see the neighbors. And I guess being a short story, although it's very annoying that my neighbor, I mean, she had this microphone stuff, and that thing was on from morning to night. Buy your fish, your chicken wing, your this, and God will bless you. Buy your, I said from morning, I think starts from 6 o'clock in the morning, gentlemen, to 7 o'clock in the evening. So our point in time, you come here, you don't make noise after I mean, by 10 o'clock, by 8 o'clock, by 6, everybody quiet.
Yeah.
So I told my sister, I said, look, I'm gonna go there, go to that lady and tell her to cut that thing off now. Or I myself will go there. But that's the fun. That's the reality. I mean, people are lively. They do not have, but they are just happy. And you go out there, you meet friends. I mean, I met friends who I haven't seen for ages. They were like, like you don't want to come back. Like, damn, I mean, it's just that friendship, that brotherlyhood is all there. Sisterhood, the family ties. I mean, everybody concerned about you. I mean, this no, but. Yeah, but you come back, you same old story, work, home, watch TV, you're alone, you talking the phone call, your friend, your wife in the sofa, you're in the store, you're talking, I mean, how they speak, I mean, the children, everybody growing up now, they're in their room, you gotta do your own thing, you never know. But it is what it is, and we look forward to going back home anytime soon, when the time is right.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I do not have a question now until we can get to the point where we'll be discussing some of what happened during the diaspora or homecoming meeting So I just want to say welcome again to Francis. I know what he's talking about. I'm also a freshie from Liberia. I left Liberia. Today is what? Today is the 20th.
Yeah.
By this time, I was in Liberia uh, almost, 2 months ago. I was in Liberia by this time. I was in Liberia by the 20th, and then the 24th, I came back. So I'll stay kind of fresh. But when we get to that point where we'll be discussing the diaspora stuff, then I got one or two questions to ask Francis. So, Francis, welcome back. And also to our audience, we want to say welcome. If you just joining us, this is a bottom line Liberia discussions. I also have one other story, and this story is a video where there is this guy who is believed to be a Ukrainian citizen is alleging that Russia is using black people to fight war, and they supposedly capture the Ukrainian soldiers also capture some black guys, and they were confessing. So I don't know if we'll have time, then we can play that because I have a completely different side of that story that I think I can look at too. So if time permits, we'll also play that. That's why I just wanted to let the audience to know.
Right.
So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. You just joining. We're just talking to Francis Mensah, who is the president of the EFLA, which is the Liberal Federation of Europe. He just returned from Liberia Diaspora Conference organized by the government of Liberia, so he was there to tell us.
It wasn't the year of the return. The conference was held in the conference was held in October.
The year of the return, the first one. Yeah. Okay. This is the second edition.
Yeah, that was after the second organized edition. There was an attempt during President George Weah's time. It did not go well. But this is the second one organized by the Diaspora Office, Honorable Erasmus Williams, Dr. Clarice Ford, and her team.
It's very important that we discuss it because we in Europe, we want to talk about what is in there for us as Liberians living abroad. It's quite important. And I just want to ask two questions. Probably we'll go to the next topic, which has to do with the voting rights. We Liberians living abroad want to vote. We want to be part of the voting elections in Liberia. But the question is, I understand you from Nordic countries. I understand that you guys were asking for consulate to be created in the Nordic country. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean that was done at the conference held in DC in October. The government, I pitched it to the government at a time when I had my 2 minutes to speak or 1 minute to speak. At the conference, I pitched the idea. I mean, the need to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The president was there, and the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and the head of Adelon and the group of people. They were all there. And we have not got any response from them, it's Liberia kind of thing. You need to run behind them, and I mean, that is not my game. I mean, I'm not going to do that. Not going to be I told them the need. I mean, the short time I had, the old Aki need to have a council at the end for the other countries.
Look, what we'll do. We'll go back to Liberia. We're discussing Liberia. There are more questions on the conference. So let's go back to the international desk. We'll go to Linford first. Linford has something too.
We can have an exclusive show one day on our stuff. We
know it's a key thing because we want to talk about here because we understand is this the conference that the president proposed a diaspora fund, investment fund for Liberia? See, this conference was before the other conference.
It was a conference in DC, and went to the Maryland. So yeah.
All right. Okay, then we'll have call you for probably we'll organize a special edition there. We'll discuss the right of the Liberia living abroad. What are the chances so many people can take part in can make more interactive to take part in the discussion? So
yeah, and
it's quite interesting.
Let me just one question, Jim. Let me just bring something up 1 minute. I'm down your minute. 30 seconds. There is an event that is coming up on the 24th, the 25th, the 26th weekend in Brussels. Is named and styled the Liberian EU Investment Forum. It will be a high-level delegation of Liberian government officials, people from the investment commission, the business community in Liberia, interacting with would-be investors in Liberia, in Europe who want to invest in Liberia. So it's a big event. I will try to have some of the guys who organizing to come here, arrange them so they come and explain. So it's a big event.
So if we can have them as soon as possible, because we also understand there being a YouTube, a Facebook link being shared around concerning about. We don't know how we can register. People want to be part of it.
Okay. I think I posted it before. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Show you.
Yeah,
it's limited though, but I mean, we can work on it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, we'll come back to you. That way, we'll come back to Liberia. We'll be discussing that as well. The voting Liberians in Europe and also a part of the world. They want to be part of the elections in Liberia. They want to vote. So we'll come back with. Francis will tell them more about what was discussed in Liberia. Then we'll go first to the international desk. We've got two segments here. We got a video that is queued by Linfo, and I think something in Ukrainian citizens is like talking about Africans being used to fight in Russia and being coerced to, or they've been fooled, or I don't know how you say that, to fight for the Russian army. Yeah, the video you want to run on that. And also you want to talk about the election in Uganda. What are the oppositions are talking about it? So Linfo, we'll go to you, then we'll go to Paul to tell about the international scene.
Okay, thank you so much. I was kind of a little bit confused whether I should start with the Russian team or the African team, but I will consider proximity. So we'll start with the African team because in any case, we are African. So elections have been held in Uganda. And we know President Museveni has been in power for a very long time, I think about 40 years now. Can you imagine? 40 years. So some of us were just small boys when I came to power. And he came after Idi Amin, or what?
No, 1986. He went to Idi Amin.
He went to Obote.
Obote. And then
I think in 1986, right?
He's been there all these years. And it's like no strong opposition, but this young guy, Bobby Wine, has been a thorn in his flesh. And there is something about these East Africans. Because I remember, was it Robert Mugabe and this other guy, Morgan Swangarai, that they used to beat every time they beat the guy, see the guy, the guy went down. Then if they will get better, you go back again. So something about these people from that region, when they grab out, they don't want to leave it. So, and Museveni have been in power all these years, and every election he will win it. Even he being the incumbent will cry that the opposition is breaking the election. I don't know by what means, by what tools they got. So this January 15 election that was held, both sides are claiming victory, and to the point where the military that is commanded by Museveni's son allegedly sent men to Bobby Wine's house overnight with helicopter, and they raided his house. And some people were concerned about his whereabouts, but I saw another video where he spoke to the people of Uganda, asking them not to accept the results of the election. And he said in that video that during the raid, he and his wife managed to escape from their house. But there is a group called Pan Africa and the Kenya branch. So it's called Pan Africa Kenya. They have been calling on, and they have some Ugandans among them that are calling on the international community to intervene in the situation in Uganda. And they made several allegations for which they claim Uganda is not safe, the political situation in Uganda is not good, and so they want the help of the international community. So we're going to listen to that video and hear, like I said, the video is a bit long, but we may not play all. We'll just play half of it and see. And so we'll go to that video and listen to what they have to say.
And a military coup against the sovereignty of the Ugandan people. Superintended for the benefit of dictator Yoweri Museveni, grabbed power by the gun and so disguises democracy that he once famously stated that he cannot be removed by a mere piece of paper. On January 15th, he transformed disdain for the people's will, as spelled out in the Ugandan constitution, into a criminal enterprise by using the ballot as a smokescreen to continue his brutal military occupation and family cabal. The 71.61 percentage algorithm, a manufactured fiction. The announced results are the product of centralized forgery. We present the following evidence of a predetermined outcome. The impossible register. The Electoral Commission, EC, inflated the National Voter Register to 21.6 million voters to match the National Resistant Movement's NRM fabrications, with the ruling party having claimed earlier that it had a membership of 20.1 million. By this claim, the NRM membership register grew by over 100%, 8 million members that were also grossly fraudulent. Independence by civil society groups and political parties confirm that the Electoral Commission register is poisoned with duplicates. Some people appearing over 50 times to match with the RM register fraud. People totally unknown were identified. The preset target. After shifting his narrative in late 2025 to claim 2.7 million were stolen from him, Museveni, in 2021, Museveni deployed an algorithm designed to hit a 70+% threshold. This was a coronation by calculation, not a count. In early 2025, Museveni claimed that Bobi Wine had robbed him of 1 million votes in the 2021 election. At the peak of the campaigns in November 2025, he increased his claim to 2.7 million votes. In 2021, Yoweri Museveni claimed 6,042,898, while Bobi Wine was given 3,631,437 votes was given. Here, Museveni gave himself a margin of 2.4 million votes. In the 2026 elections, Yoweri Museveni claimed 7,946,772 votes against Bobi Wine's 2,741,238 votes. The margin this time around is 5.2 million votes. The difference between the two margins of 2.4 million in 2021 and 5.2 million in 2026 is 2 million, the exact figure which Museveni says he was robbed of in the last elections. This can only be possible by a special algorithm of a predetermined result. A chorus of threats. And then you're next. From General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's tweets vowing to crush opposition, to the parliamentary rhetoric of his Patriotic League of Uganda PLU group, members like David Kabanda, and NRM regime leaders like Speaker Anita Among and Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, among others, the regime said months ago that the result was decided before the first vote was cast, similar to previous and regional elections.
Well, like I said, the video is pretty long because it's about 17 minutes, and there are two other speakers after this lady, and they outlined several things, even the death toll in this particular election. But time will not permit us to go through it. But guys, I just want us to discuss generally, from the African perspective. Why is it that when African leaders come to power, remember they seen Museveni overthrew, he fought to get to power. Now he has taken power that people are, the Ugandan people are describing his regime as a family cabal, where his son is the defense minister, and they should put all the power on his son, and nobody can, he cannot be removed according to what we just listened to by a mere paper. That is something, some figures on a paper cannot remove him. To remove him, you have to probably use the same force that he used to remove Milton Obote. So guys, generally, what's wrong? Why is it that African leaders would not want to give it up easily?
That's an interesting question, Linford. But not all not all African leaders do, because Liberia had an election three years ago, and before the result could end, one won't consider and give power over. So not all African leaders, but some of them, like Museveni and then Paul Biya of Cameroon, those are the kind of leaders in Africa. For some reason, they want to die in office. So not all of them. And those sort of leaders, the only way you move there is to use the military, and that's what they look at, but not all of them. So we know that then good election in Africa. Kenya had good election.
I will take back that statement when I say African leaders. So let me not generalize
Okay.
it.
Yeah, just to support what Paul's saying, Linford, one thing is you also understand that he's been supported by America. In next year, Uganda is going to be exploring oil exploration. It's taking place in Uganda, which is a lot of money. And recently, the economy of Uganda has been doing well. And that says a lot. So if the West is the darling of the West, Uganda has been an area where you got this guy called the what's the guy name? Something the Law Army, the guy who disappeared when Obama sent some to chase this guy out of.
Joseph Kony in the Law Resistance Army.
The Law Resistance Army. Yeah. Joseph Kony was there. We was in the flesh of the American interest, and they have to entrench Museveni in power. In 2005, Museveni. 2005, Museveni changed the terms of the presidency in our country. And when he became in 2017, he became 75. The age limit, he removed the age limit. There has been constitutional manipulations by Museveni in Uganda, and he's been supported by the West. So he's in the Eastern Africa region. He is the darling of the West. So definitely will support whatever, because there are a lot of stuff coming out of Uganda and its surrounding. And he's using his connections to get things done. So as long as Museveni is there, living to their supporting their interest, Museveni will stay in power. So it's not about African leaders, it's about who's supporting to keep him in power. That's the point. That's the fact. So Museveni changes, like what happened in like 75, age to 75, he changed the constitution. Age limits were removed. There's no age limit in Uganda anymore. Election term for presidency terms were removed in 2005. 2017, age limit removed. So and also what he's doing, using the state resources to support his loyalists, to make him more loyal to him. So those guys are running.
And what you're saying, Chima, I'm not quoting you, but what you're saying, I think this is where most of the questions that people are asking is coming from. If America can go around the world looking for dictators to remove them, why is one dictator over 40 years? And in 40 years' time, you're talking about 8 American presidents. Because
one thing before my colleague Francis coming, America is not looking for dictators. America is looking for people that are not in their interest. That's what America is looking for.
No, but they will not say that. They will normally say they're going for dictators. Because we heard Saddam Hussein, Libyan president Gaddafi, because he was a dictator, according to them, and they have moved on people calling them dictators. Maduro is the latest example. they label him all the other names, dictator, drug dealer, and all these things. So why do they have one in office for 40 years? So if you give every American president one term, that would be about 8 American presidents, okay, that have come and seen this guy, and they let him be all the time, and nobody's bothering. Why is Trump not going for him? Or is it that America does not have interest in that place? Nothing there that they want? Because clearly it's seen that when he went to Venezuela, it was for the oil, and he himself said it. In fact, they are trying to now start marketing the oil. So why is it that they cannot move to oil? Because Africa is Africa, or what? I guess
look, guys, I don't want to waste our time on that stuff because look, it's so disturbing. This man, he was quoted. He was known as at one point that he was condemned. He said, "Why you're condemning other African leaders? Why they stay the Paul Biya, the guy from the Omar Bongo, he was one of the guys out. Why do they stay in power for a long time? The man has created a hegemony of his family. Jimmy said it right. America does not go for dictators. They go for people who are not in the interest who they see. Because you guys, I just want to bring to you guys attention. Before the United States moved to Kenya, they drifted away around by the year 1998, 99, 2000, Uganda was considered as the centerpiece for the some response unit by Clinton administration. But when Uganda got involved in the Rwanda genocide, they supported Rwanda genocide and were involved in the first Congolese war. So how come the administration of Clinton got disappointed and shifted all the support they had, suspended military aid and shifted their focus to Kenya? So how come Kenya became the center, the response unit for African forces? The United Nations had to build the headquarters in Kenya and stuff like that. So look, we'll move on to the next topic. America is just not interested in this guy. Anything to take this guy out, they have taken it out. They will have supported the law, which is the army. You want that red beside them, who have supported a group that would have engaged. But we want, Uganda has been relatively peaceful. Economically, has been booming. So again, hey, you don't want to destroy what it is. So then he just stay and die. And his term might be, it will hurt the people, but hey, so the West not really interested in the Britain, who is a colonial master, not interested, America not interested. They got all the stuff going on there. He cost the personal, he cost the royal family, he cost the president of America, he cost the prime minister, what you call it, Britain. The guy was a refugee in Sweden. He lived in Gothenburg. The heart from there, Gothenburg, he left from Sweden and went to he went to Uganda to fight. So yeah, man, that's my point. That's my take on it.
And then just to support Paul, and this is Paul, just to let you know, one of the things Museveni did in Uganda, nobody would do that. The West will not condemn you and put sanctions on you. This guy went publicly and in our law, homosexualism in his country. That's it. And nobody did anything wrong. If you could do that, if you do that in a country, you sanction. America will sanction you outrightly under the leadership. I think under the leadership of Obama at the time, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And in 2012, there was a criminal arrest, international criminal court arrest for Cooney, 2012. And they were arresting him to come to court, and the American put boots on the ground in Uganda to arrest this guy because he wanted to overthrow Museveni. They said that Joseph Kony has spiritual power. Up to now, he's been haunted, he's been weakened, but nobody knows his whereabouts. People believe to be somewhere in Central Africa. And there's no rebel against Museveni. So Museveni has been pampered, he's been supported by the West because there are a lot of resources in our country. You can't play with Museveni. He will stay in power and die in office. Forget Mussolini.
Absolutely.
Mussolini had nothing. Mussolini is just the boy. He supports America. He gives what America wants. Look, if you want something from America, if America wants something from you, if you want like whatever you want to do under the sun is considered legal. That's it. That's America, and this is what the West would do. So nobody like Taylor would say, my pepper bush. Uganda is America pepper bush. They support Museveni to do whatever he's doing. Nothing going to happen. Nothing going to happen about it. Nobody going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Bobby Wine just got to be careful because John Black will be killed and nothing will happen. And he has to be very careful.
They will. Yeah, they're after him. Yeah, Jamal, you're right. And later, you talk about why African dictators. And the worst dictator on the planet Earth is America. Don't mind the election in America. After every 4 years, you see somebody get the thing called the military industrial complex that run the show in America. If they decide to go invade a country, nobody tells. They are the worst dictator on the planet Earth. Anyone go contrary to them, they claim that person is the dictator. But you go in another country to pick up a certain president. Who's the dictator on the planet Earth? They're going to invade Greenland because they want the mineral there. They are the worst dictator on the planet Earth. They created so many wars around the place. So other people like Mussolini that they will support, yes. When your daddy boy, the guy who in Syria today, he was ISIS, one of the strong commanders. He had $10 million on him. Today now, the guy was sitting with Donald Trump in the White House. Because he's going to do the thing that the American want. They are the worst dictator, brother. We shouldn't waste our time. Let's move on. This is the great America we're talking about. They are the worst dictator on the planet Earth. And that's how I see it. So we can move on. So
okay, thank you guys. We sometimes we just need to talk about some of these things, but I think we all have different perspectives on these things. But still on the international front, I know Paul will have something or whatever. But still on the international front, we've been talking about this war in Russia, and no sign, at least for now, no visible sign of seeing whether not in Russia or in Ukraine. There's no visible sign to see when this war is going to end or how it's going to end. But I think what they're doing now is propaganda. Propaganda is part of the war because every war that people fight, being a former battlefront reporter as well, I know that there's a lot of propaganda in war. So there's this video that was trending or that is trending where some African guys were being paraded to confess that Russia conscripted them on a false pretense that they promised them that they're going to go to Russia to work in supermarkets, to work, as security guards and whatever. And when they get there, every time they get there, they end up being taken to the battlefront. So let me play this video. We'll play this video and see how we see it. We'll give our various, opinions on it and see whether it makes sense or not. And so let me try to see if I can roll it. Forgive me. I got to find the audio first. Let me put on the screen and then find the audio. Okay, audio right here.
Escaped Russian positions. He's telling how Ukraine to come work at supermarkets as security guards in Russia, but in reality, at the gunpoint, they're making them sign military contracts and send them to the front lines to serve as cannon fodder. I have a video here for you from an African who escaped Russian positions. He's telling how Ukrainians helped save him and calling all of the other Africans not to get tricked by Russians and not to come work to Russia. Don't forget to follow me, and if you want to support me, check the links in bio where you can order a hat like this or a hoodie. I have more than 30 items that me and my brother have designed, or you can donate through Venmo and PayPal. A small donation helps me go a long way. Slava Ukraini.
To my fellow Africans, wherever you are, I warn you, and I'm telling you the truth. They are promising you well-paying jobs in Russia. You are going to land in the army. It's a lie. They are lying. They are lying. Imagine on the battle. Imagine to die for nothing. It's better you stay in Africa It's better you stay with your people. Somebody found me on the street and said there are some jobs in Russia, jobs to work in the supermarket, jobs to work in the factory, jobs to work as a security guard at the airport, jobs to be a cleaner, and they are waiting good paying jobs. And they said, you have entered here, but sorry guys, you are joining Russian what? Military. Then we told them that, no, this is not what brought us here. They said, there's nothing we can do. You can't cross the gate. The gate is locked. He put us on a gunpoint and he said, you sign these papers. He said, you have to sign on a gunpoint. And they drove us and they put us in a place which was dark and in the forest. And they were telling us, this is the Russian army. The underground was horrible. It was a bad place because there were bed bugs. And bed bugs were biting us, and in the ground, just to eat biscuits and water. I escaped at dark. I threw everything down. I ran. Then I reached where they are. Then I said, help me, please. I am innocent, help me. Then they stopped. They said, turn around. But they were using signs. Then I turned around. They said, where are you coming from? I said, I have escaped. This is the Ukrainian army. Feel okay, you are in safe hands now. Don't.
Okay, guys, there is another video where they have few African guys shouting and dancing, and you can see another guy who is supposedly, according to the video, a Russian, taking video of them. And he was mocking them and calling them disposables. Okay, but people who honor that video, I read half of the comments, over 1,000 comments. I read half of them, and people who understand both Russian and Ukrainian, they say that the guy was actually speaking Ukrainian. So how did this Ukrainian guy end up in a Russian camp where these conscripts are supposed to be dancing and getting ready for battle to go? So, but the point I'm trying to make here is that we all watch this video. Now, let's consider. Now, I'll make it very hypothetical. Let's consider that these Africans, including this guy who spoke, he's from Uganda, by the way, they are being conscripted falsely, giving a false hope that they'll go and work. When they get to Russia, they conscript them into the army right away and they are ready to go train. One of them said he was trained for only 3 minutes how to explode grenade and whatever. And then they were supposed to be fighting against the Ukrainians for Russia, right? And then all of a sudden, these guys, they escaped the Russian camp and they end up in a Ukrainian camp, and Ukrainians are so happy to welcome people who have been fighting and killing their men. So, oh yeah, you are not in safe hands. Guys, let's between the lines. Maybe I may be sounding silly, but let me get your take.
Yeah, let me take the first shot. Listen, the whole video is questionable for me. The first and foremost, I don't see the start from how do you get conscripted, whatever you call it. And the first and foremost, you should also understand when these wars are happening, was this the Uganda government trying to over, or did he go its own will? That's what you need to establish. Of these wars that are taking place, people go around asking, you want to be recruited and fight for, you want to be missionaries. It could be on that ground. So we don't know. I don't know. The video did not tell us how did you go to the Russian army. That's another thing. So that's the first thing. Let's establish first. If you don't establish that, you got in the middle of the video, you want me to comment, it's difficult for me to comment. That's the point. So I need to know, like what happened in Ukraine. I know very well that when the Ukraine war started, people were coming around recruiting people to go for a good amount of money per day to fight in Ukraine. I know a couple of guys that came around, I know them. So that was on your own will. You can go and fight for Ukraine when the war started. They'll give you money, and you almost like in a month, you almost earn something up to $50,000 at the end of the month. That's how it was. It was sounding. At the end of the day, it could not be the story. But now, what you show us right now, for me, I can't make any statement on it, because did this guy go on his own? Or was he sent by his government? How did he get to the Russian army in the first place? So those videos running around, going viral on social media, we've got to be careful running on these shows. So I need to know the starting point, and so I need some more information before I comment on this, because I'm aware of
Yeah,
this kind of
Jamal.
propaganda. I don't think I want to speak
Yeah,
on this until I get some facts or some information.
Jamal, you're right. You're right. I don't think we should waste our time on it because I live in Russia.
Mhm.
You wouldn't just come from anywhere in Africa to see the good work in supermarket. The first
That-
thing is you have to learn how to speak Russian. That's the first thing you have to learn. Speaking Russian alone, it will take you up to a year before you learn how to communicate in Russia. So how will you come from Uganda and start selling in supermarket? First, so that video will disqualify that video. It's
yeah.
not. These guys are.
Yeah.
I think it's just how the, what would I say? Well, this content creator, I mean, because it's a content creation that they done, because that they have. If you're coming to bring the one with the CNN and how they call it, the Telegraph or portraying some video that they had the Russians. Black surfing in Russia. They were taking them on the mine site to mine to them for disposal. Their propaganda video have been trading. So if we look at it, the Russian, if they're winning the war, they will not just take anyone say, "Oh, can't go fight for us." It means you have to be trained, you have to understand the language, you have to understand the way the military operate before they send you on the front line. Look at North Korea that sent 10,000 troops. They didn't just send them. These guys were learning how to speak Russian before they were taken from North Korea to Russia. So that video, that African thing, I'll disqualify it. Francis?
Look, I have a different view though. I don't want us to, already discount the authenticity of the video. In terms of war, what you call subscription. Regardless of Russia winning the war, but the Russian citizens are dying. In as much as they are being suppressed, but families are grieving, and Russia has the money, and they have people, who can go out there and lure people into coming to Russia to do jobs. Cracking the AK-47 on the front line does not require no language. It requires you to kill your enemies and you move forward. So that video could be true, it could be false. So that's just my point. People could be misled. Go there. There's a job in the Koreans themselves. Koreans, they didn't have choice because they live under an authoritarian dictator. You got to you pack up and go. Is there some ally of Russia? So you never know. We going to be poverty can lead to all kinds of things.
It wasn't only the Ugandan guy though. In the other video, I think I have it somewhere, but I can't lay hand. I think if I look for it,
these kids were fighting. We're not learning no labyrinthing, no language. But like they had an AK-47 and a bazooka, or fighting for MPF.
But and for me, I look at it a different way because I think there is propaganda involved here. Okay,
it is.
So that Russia will look like, okay, they are losing the war, and then they are looking for Africans to fight for them. Number one, and number two, I look at the Ukrainian side. Hey man, Ukrainian. So you mean this guy is they have been fighting you and killing your people? All of a sudden, the media run to say, "Help me, help me, help me," and then you work on him.
Ukraine captured North Koreans. They were shown on Ukrainian TV.
No, but
it even shocked you. I mean, I'm calling you I fighting a war against a white man. I see a black man, I'll be shocked. I don't know where you're coming from. In the midst of a white war, my man.
What I was trying to get.
That will even put the black men at more risk. Yeah, Jamal, go ahead.
What I was trying to get it from you, I think you were away from the microphone. It was the source of the information. How this guy got into this war? That part didn't get a bit.
Okay, the guy, he clearly said it. He said he was, I think that video was like cut and connected. As he was in one tune and a tune was driving the next clip. But he actually said that he was met by somebody in the street. I think that should be in Uganda. And said, we have job offer for you. And the reason why when I listened to this video, I was doubting that this could just be propaganda. It's not possible that Russians will go or will send out agents to go fetch people to come to recruit people to come to fight that war. But I'm not saying somebody else. My blood brother that we hosted on this program the last time, the agriculturalist. He got a friend who is supposed to be living in Russia. I'm sorry that I'm saying this thing live here, but I just got to say it. Let people be careful. And this friend of his, he's supposed to be in Russia. He traveled to Russia. I don't know whether to stay there or not. And this friend got in contact with him and told him that he can process his paper. He can process paper for him to go to Russia to go to school. And as usual, my brother called me to tell me this thing. So I was like, but how did you? I started asking all the questions to the point where he gave me that friend number. And I was talking to this guy on his WhatsApp number. His WhatsApp number is still a Liberian number, 231. But he's supposed to be in Russia. And he told me to follow his video. I followed his video where he's encouraging young Liberians to go to Russia to go to school. Or they don't need money. All they need to do is to get there. When they get there, they'll go on campus. And then there are people, Paul, who've been to Russia before. I don't know whether this works. That the people who want to go there from Liberia will pay some money to his parents, to the boss parent here. Then the parent will give the money to somebody to process it. And then when they go, they'll go to school, then they'll start paying, they'll start working to pay. So all these kind of small dots, if you connect it, you could also see that this could be some maneuvering tactics to get young people to go to Russia, to be conscripted. It's possible. But then on the other side, the Ukrainian could be using these Africans to say, no, listen, come and talk. And then we made Russia to look like a bad group, that they are the losers, and now they are desperate that they're going to Africa to look for people to fight for them. So, this video, somebody said, what we do, get our own opinion and sweep it aside.
The war is a propaganda war. He said it from the start. From day one, we know that 1 million Russians have died. That's what he told us. We all listen to CNN, all of these Western media. They told us 1 million Russians have died. So the Ukrainians are killing the Russians in millions. But the Russians are taking Ukrainian territory. You are dying. How can you be taking you? Because they're killing you, you should be running away. So it just says there's a propaganda that have been played here. And we shouldn't talk about the Western media have portrayed the thing that, Russia is losing. They are dying in millions. So using African propaganda, they can pay money for propaganda. That one is something that we all know about. So I don't think we should waste our time and let move to Mama Liberia, where we get serious stuff to talk about. The war that is going on now, you're not hearing about it because Donald Trump decided to invade Greenland. So that is the most talked about thing that. So you don't hear much about what is happening. The people who killing the Russians, Britain came up with a nonsense that they're going to develop this new missile they call Star 4 to give to Russia, to give to Ukraine to use. But we've been told the Russians are dying. So you don't need to give them anything, you're killing them. So it's all propaganda, we know that. The one who you're killing in millions, he's taking your land. He captured your land, but you cannot capture his land. What a nonsense this. So we shouldn't buy into this until when Putin decided to end the war. He captured the land, so we shouldn't waste our time on this. Let's move on, guys.
Okay, Paul, if you have anything for us on the international front, we can take that.
No, so something quickly I just want to talk about. It's not, it's just a few minutes. It's not much. And this is regarding America. The World Cup will be in America, Canada, and Mexico this year. Donald Trump, the most interesting, crazy person on the planet Earth, that's my language, he decided to ban 74 countries to not travel to America. And those countries that qualify for the World Cup, 15 of them are on that ban. So that means the spectator of those countries will not be going, even including the coaches. So for Africa, nearly all the African countries that qualify, they own the 74 country list that will not be going to America for visit. So people now are calling FIFA to take away that aspect from America, and because there are 3 countries hosting the World Cup, so they should boycott the one that going to America, because the kickoff of the World Cup is between Brazil and Morocco, and both of the countries they on the ban. So people are now calling, no, they should boycott the World Cup from America. Those are the things. And you know what happened with the ISIS?
Before you proceed, let me ask one question. I want to get something clear. Are you talking about the recent pronouncement by the American government that immigrant visas are frozen, or is it another list that came up banning countries?
The immigrant visa that is frozen for 74 countries. And all of that 74.
But I think they're having it wrong, because the immigrant visa, it actually means that if I am leaving my country to migrate to America, to live there.
No, it's not that one. He's suspended. Even Liberia is on that list. Then suspended.
I agree.
Yeah.
But the visiting visa is still you can still get it. The visiting visa, people can still get it. A tourist visa. So if these people are going for World Cup, I don't think they are migrating to the United States to live there. So they do not fall within the immigrant visa category. That's what I want to see.
Lane 4. You see the list, the countries in front of you, the flag. All those countries are on that list. They have been suspended visa. So if you want to go to America, you will not get visa. So those traveling fans will not be getting a visa. They will allow the footballers. So these are the issue people raising. Say if us are going after people now, the situation that is happening, you can visit America, you can be picked up, and you be put behind bars because you be classified as immigrant.
Yeah,
so this is the issue that friends that come in.
Yeah, the State Department, under the instructions of President Trump, the new fascist guy, the narcissist guy, he had 2 sanctions groups. So first, he decided the first one was a lot of African countries and some American countries that were not going to be giving visiting visa to America.
Yeah.
Then he came up with the second list. Because the first list I brought on that list, that was Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, Guinea, visiting visa. Yeah. They came out with the second list where Liberia is on that list. So in part, that make our audience understand there are 2 groups. So a lot of the countries are on this, they are double on this list at the same time. They on the immigrant list and on the non-immigrant list, if any visa list. So they get it straight. Yeah. So,
okay, then if these countries that Paul just put on the screen, if they are in the first group, then of course it's understandable. But my argument was the second group that Liberia is in, that's 75. That group of 75 is it's
immigrant visa. Those who send it for the housemoms, who want the DV,
who want resettlement, you want your children to come, or you're going with intention to live there.
Immigrant status.
But under that particular category, visiting visa, tourist visa, and business visa are all stay, functional. That's why I just want to get straightened up.
Yeah, but I mean, even at that point, look, it was going to my head, my wife and I were talking the same thing, I mean, then people just boycott the World Cup. Let him have a walk.
Yes.
Let the countries boycott the World Cup. Don't go to America. All the games that we play in America, don't go to them. Play a game in Canada and Mexico. I mean, they will send a huge message to the American people.
America get the audience, though. They keep the human capacity.
Wait. America is just one part of the football. The football world is South America and Africa.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
So, but this is the call now. People are calling for it to be boycott in America because what happened? You got that 3 countries hosting it: Canada, Mexico, America. Yeah. If they're going after immigrants, then it's okay. We move it. We spread between Canada and Mexico. That's what people are calling for. Because you may want to travel with your team. They look at you and deny visa. You're not go.
The 1996 World Cup actually elevated soccer in America. That made soccer very, 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 very famous in America. I'm not very famous as compared, but it brought it to the spotlight. Soccer, they play more carriages and 7 men, 8 men on the field with Perry and days, Airbus. The 96 World Cup actually brought soccer into the limelight as a competitive sport in America. It's not as big as basketball, baseball, or American football or hockey, but soccer is there. So I think it's an opportunity for the world to unite against America and say we're not going anywhere. We're not going to participate. We're going to boycott.
And for FIFA to say, in fact, we're taking it from America to give it to another country in a nearby area to host it, so America remains out.
But FIFA is a sell. FIFA is a sell. FIFA getting a peace award.
A peace prize.
Yeah, peace prize.
The man issue statement against Norway. The man say Norway deny allowing to get the Nobel Peace Prize. So.
But it's good. Let friends say we'll go to you because Jamal should be on the to conduct the library. Let's talk about this visa. The voting issue in Liberia. We're in a diaspora. Talk to us because this is the thing that we all want to. Some of us last election we had to buy ticket twice to go register, came by and then have to go back to go vote. Talk to us. How this going to work? If that possible, 2029, is that feasible to have this for Liberian in the diaspora to vote?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I know the Americans always let us take things from Europe, but the idea was brought by Europeans. We actually, after the dual citizenship, we immediately saw the idea, share the idea with our counterparts in America. So they run with it that they came up with the idea, but it was the voting rights. It's a very complicated thing. We do not have infrastructure in Liberia. So what we presented to the some members of the legislature, the House of Representatives, this guy from Maryland County, the other guy from Grand Crew County, and some Nima County, and Mike Eby, some of the representatives that we met. And we told them the diaspora is huge. Our remittances back home contribute to significantly to the national budget. And we want to be active participants in, the voting process, in the decision making of Liberia when it comes to governance, leadership. We gave it opportunity to them, which means we can do our embassies, our consulate sessions around the world in the various countries. Some are open to it. I remember this guy representing Williams from Maryland County, Southern District people. He was not optimistic, and he said it was not going to work. But we petitioned, getting the petition, And so 2029, we do not know because it's a lot of legal thing, constitutional matter. As a matter of fact, you need to be a registered constituency. We have a constituency outside as one that probably we have 15 counties. There's a spot could be the 16 county. And if you have to vote, probably you have to vote for representative. Maybe we'll be having 2 seats. That's probably one for you, America, blah blah. So these are the technical details. But remember, election commission, they bought the idea. I was not there when they presented the petition to Senator Dawes Dayton, who is the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. It was presented to him, and I think also presented to the House's Foreign Relations Committee, as well. So that picture, that when it was presented, I was not there at the time, but I attended the one held at the they call it the Boulevard Hotel. So, but 2029 is around the corner. I think it could be probably the next election, not 2029, but elections after that. Because as I stated, we don't have an infrastructure, embassies, a lot of things involved. You need to have. It may sound easy, but it's complicated. Trust is an issue. In the ruling party has ambassadors all around. They could stuff the ballots and the spoke. It's just a lot of things around. So yeah, but that's the idea we tried to sell to the honorable House of Representatives and the senators.
No, firstly, good. Something came to my mind. There's something they call absentee ballot that people, you don't have to be, because if the infrastructure is not there, we can take cues from other countries that doing it already. That you don't have to have a representation from Europe or America to be that constituent. But people here can go to the embassy, they can vote who they want to vote, and that thing can be packaged and sent by DHL. It happens all over the world. Is that something that was in a package presented? Remember to the guy who the petition was presented to, he's one of the people that against people from the diaspora taking jobs in Liberia. That was Dillon. That's so. These guys, they will see it as a threat to them. They will not want to do something. So we need to now push them forward like what we did with the dual citizenship that took years before they recognized it, because this is not one day business. It could be beyond 2030 election. So I'm looking at how can we look at other countries, what they've done to take cue from there and say, look, this is how it can be done easily. If they want the diaspora to fund it, we can put money together to fund it, because they will not want to put money into it. I don't know how you guys look at it.
Excuse me. It doesn't. It may sound so easy. I mean, look, the world has changed. People doing two digital thing. American, I don't think they put their stuff in DHL or mailed by DHL or FedEx or UPS anymore. No, it's digital. You vote. I know. I mean, you're an IT guy. No, it works. So you go there, you vote, and electronically it is uploaded. So I don't want to ruin our African credibility, but it's a negative choice. I'll go vote at the Liberian embassy. Joseph Bogart and in the leader, in leadership, you go vote and you go DHL vote. I hope vote be in for the president. We want to be for opposition. So there are alternative platforms, but I can say for sure what going to be done. I mean, but the best option will be uploaded directly immediately on a digital portal or platform. But 2020 now. I mean, I was looking for, but I can tell you, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's gonna work. We don't have the infrastructure. requires a lot of the money that we have decided we ourselves sponsor it. But hey, the people are a little bit skeptical. So yeah, because people over in the diaspora got more votes. We got that's the party got yes, you got has huge votes from the states. People, if you get opportunity to vote, not taking away from CDC as well. So it will be an interesting thing to look forward to see how to look forward to. But I don't think it's gonna happen this time around as 2029. Maybe after 2029, that's the reason why it's 20, it's 30, I think 30, 35 or so. Yeah.
So the thing is, if it's require the money and the architecture to say, okay, it's something that the government or the country is willing to do, that means it can start. The people can start putting it in place from the next election, not 2029. Yeah. So it's just that willingness of them accepting it. That's the thing. Because I don't think they want to accept it.
Well,
because they see the diaspora as a threat to them.
I think I see it from different perspective. That this is the first time that we Liberians are trying to do this thing, and I want to believe that it's not going to happen automatically. It will face a lot of bottlenecks and law jams, which we have to fight to remove. Simple example is the dual citizenship stuff. There were all these, anti-statements about it, all of these negative connotations people highlighted. But at the end of the day, after we persevere, I remember this thing surfaced around 2006, 7, around 4, 5, 6, 7, around there. And it took so long. But finally it happened. So this one is going to happen. I don't know the speed. I don't know how early, how late it will happen, but it will happen. So we shouldn't have anything, to think that, any negative thinking that, it cannot happen, or because people are against it. Yes, of course, people will be against it because it's not their idea. But we that are, proposing this idea or proffering this idea should be the ones to counter every negative, behaviors towards it. And we can do that by convincing the people why we think it's necessary. And this is politics. Politicians will now, easily work on their opponents. Like you mentioned about people being against this thing in Liberia, including Darius Dillon. Yeah, of course, Darius Dillon, the guy was hustling for job for so many years, and he became senator. You think he wants somebody to just come and remove him easily? That no. So we got to understand all of these. But I think we should keep our eyes on the positive, and let's put into place proper mechanism. In the diaspora, we got experts. If it will cost us the powers, let's say, to vote in the diaspora instead of being physically present on the ground, there are, RT gurus in the diaspora who can put ideas together and say, "Oh, listen, we can do it this way, and we can devise the strategy." AI is taking over. Okay, all you need to do, maybe just put your data in. We can have a database where you go online when you vote. The people who control the database can see. They have visibility. They can see who is voting and from where, your address or everything, and they can rectify that you are indeed living in Europe or in America. And then they can also have that same thing connected to the Elections Commission database with everybody in there, and then the moment one person votes, it registers to your database and it registers in Liberia. So we got to pile up the ballot boxes on the plane to take it to. I mean, that's very antique. It sounds very antique. Who the person that you have money in DHL? Remember, DHL will not go and be sitting by the ballot. They deliver. When they deliver, they're gone. Who they deliver it to, and who takes care of it from the airport to the Elections Commission, and who will open it? All these things. It's a lot of things.
So Linford, the reason why I mentioned DHL, because in Liberia, they meant to go digital. They have not gone digital yet. So when they go digital, it's easy for us. But because they have, you can't say this side is digital and that side. So they plan to go digital in the 2023 election. They have not gone digital. So it's easy when you go digital. We know that. But what made us to get the dual citizenship in Liberia, it was President Weah who championed it. Eddie Johnson, we approached early. They blocked it. But when Weah came, because Weah understood the importance of the dual citizenship, that's why he accepted it. So we have Joseph Barker. If Joseph Barker accepted now, we have that election in 2030, they will start putting McKinsey in place. That's the willingness of them. But if they're not willing, they will be dragging. The dual citizenship, you know about, we contributed money to get to the legislature. What they did, you know the story. But when we are king, we are so we are living in the diaspora only because I must have children outside that one day they want to be part of this thing. That's why he accepted it. But the other people, so that willingness, it should come from them. We can always push it. They must be willing to accept it.
See, the case where we are is not only person or only president in Liberia that had children in America. Why have no children in America? So my children, they are even more big. In America now that they are.
Darrell Dillon, who opposed to people coming from the diaspora only job, his son in Minnesota. He knows his son there. But so this is that opposed it, so you have the willingness of those people. So don't get the example of one person.
Look at it this way too. That Darrell Dillon is one person, and besides that, Darrell Dillon is not some what would I say?
No, I just give you an example here. Ellen Johnson, who lived in America, her children lived there. On the house stewardship, she refused it. I just give you an example. So the willingness of them.
I want to know this here. When you say they refuse it, was it the responsibility of the president to make it back? Because we're dealing with two different people here.
Listen. What I said to you, in Liberia, the president influenced things. George Weah influenced them. That's why they accepted it, and that's the fact. So we know Liberia.
Again, I wouldn't take this to any higher level of debate. My thing here is that we shouldn't begin to defeat the purpose by ourselves.
No, we're not defeating the purpose. You're not getting the logic here. It's the willingness of the people.
This person was willing, this person was not willing.
Listen, Limpo. From now to 2029, that 4 years, if they're willing, it can happen. You don't have to take 20 years to go electronic. If they're willing, it can happen. That's the fact. The government just passed a budget that they're going to get 1.4 billion. So there's plenty of money. If they're willing, it can happen. That is willingness I'm talking about. I'm not saying it won't happen.
Okay,
they must be willing. If they're willing,
how you see, if you listen to what I said previously, we should be the one to continue to push it. Though, when I was a little boy, I still remember I used to visit the interior, and then they would send us to a farm to go drive the bird. And then I would go again, walk, because the rest will eat my skin. So I just walk and then run and come back. I remember my grandmother telling me, you have to continue to be there. You have to continue to be there, to be shouting, so the birds will be afraid. So because if you go there and you move from a car, so if we just, introduce a bill and sit down or try to inform lawmakers and we sit down, we don't do anything, we got to keep pressing. We know that it's not going to be easy. That's what I said. I gave you an example with the dual citizenship. It will take time. This thing we're talking about now could even take the next 20 years. But does that kill the length of time? Does that kill our idea? No. We should continue to press. And all the people you name, they are not permanent human beings. That will be there all the time.
So we're talking the same thing in different. I said they must be waiting. The waitingness. It can be different group of people come. That waitingness should be there. That's what I'm saying. If they're not waiting, we'll keep fighting. That's how I see it. It wouldn't take long to say, okay, Brussels, let's give it a try. Because usually people start something, they start for a try. Where Liberia based, Minnesota have the huge number of people. Let's start this year. Let's try Minnesota and see you can do, if you're doing those things, you do a testing, compare to see if it works. You can start small and then you do the test and say, oh, it worked in Minnesota. When we get over 40,000 Liberians live, we get in Brussels, where is the center of a lot of Liberians in Europe. Let's try this. If it works, then we can spread it. But that willingness for them to allow it, that's what we'll be fighting them for. It will take somebody who will go in the house that be ready to push the agenda. And Francis said, there are few people accepted it. They're opposing view. So it's a good news. But that willingness, because they have to debate it, they have to be in the house to accept it. So when they accept it, it can happen. It should not take up to 2030. If they accept it today, electronic technology in place. We don't have to be here and there. Tomorrow we can go to Brussels or London to the embassy. Electronically we can register. The willingness. Francis, talk to us.
I think you guys have said it all, both sides. It does make some sense. For me, I want to move forward. We still got a couple of years ahead. I mean, the architecture, the infrastructure, the willingness by the government to see that this thing come to reality. We have our budget is donor base related. So the government will be looking at donors again. So all the resources, we got all the resources in the world, everything. But we prefer to banjo it to people, they take it, go big in another community. So we see where international community say they will be waiting for God, they're breaking the IMO again to do all our partners. So let's see our breath until 2021.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
We're going an hour and 2 minutes.
We better pray God. We better pray God that Donald Trump will not know that we have small semblance of oil somewhere, and then we also have Go and Damo. He will come and say, you want to take all Liberia? That one will get you, and he's a walk in the park. They will say, oh yeah, but Mr. President can't. Yes, sir. Come and sign. We bring the people, let's sign Liberia for you now.
Yeah. Anyway, Leopold, take us home so we can be with here for a while.
We've exhausted all of what we had to discuss, even though there's a lot of things about Liberia to discuss, but I think these were the important things I want to discuss. And in a nutshell, I want also just each of us to give our closing comment and especially reflect on some of the things that we've been talking about, both internationally and locally. Recap some of what we talked about, and if there is anything that we left out, didn't talk about, any of you can remember, you can bring it out so we can close on it. We'll start with Francis, because Francis is the man who's supposed to wake up early.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the thing, guys. Look, my concern has to do with in Liberia specifically, the training issue has to do with the port. The port authority, regulatory agency, we should be usurping the function of the maritime agency. For me, I'm in total agreement with the decentralization of the ports. Give it a try, and then the world is involved and give the people the autonomy. That didn't work, And then I think we have discussed everything. I mean, Liberia is what it is, and the world is changing. The world has to stand up to Mr. Trump. I think he's a fascist leader. He's a neo-fascist leader. He's a narcissist. They need to put him in order as soon as possible.
You're not visiting America in recent time.
I go to American Nesmo. you know, he has to stop this stuff he's doing. The world need to put in check, especially Europe. You know, he has tested Europe. He continue to test Europe. He doesn't try that crap with China, India, because they got nuclear weapons. They got Europe, but we are very moderate. He said we are. Trump himself said we try to be politically correct all the time. We are weak. So our leaders that they met from France is strong. I think we need to set example, boycott the World Cup, get Israel out of the European Union. You know, his allies, treat them as the way he's treating the other people. That's all I have to say from my end.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah, Francis, I think I'm in similar line with you. I think Trump should invade Greenland. And the reason why I'm saying this, to make Europe to wake up for a reason that every time they behind America, anything America, because if Europe it is serious, there are 32 members of NATO that goes around causing trouble. So some crazy guy now decide to disturb them. Let them be the same thing that they've been doing to other countries. Let them do it to them. So I really want Trump to invade Greenland, let NATO dissolve, so everybody can be independent now. You now have one group of people, when it go cause damage, they don't criticize the other people. Let them feed it. You talk about Israel. All of these 32 countries, they always say Israel have the right to defend itself because when they kill innocent people. But when Trump do it to Greenland, it will be sweet that let them feed it. And Trump said we have the military, you can't do anything to us. These were the same people that have been propagating against Russia from the time some of us were born that the Russians are coming to kill us. But who going around killing people? It's the same NATO and America. So let this guy invade Greenland. I really want to see this happening for the sake of peace in this world, so Europe can wake up and say now we can build our own army too to stop depending on America. That's what I want to see. So I really want to see this happening before. I really want Trump to do it before he leaves office. Let NATO break apart. And they say when it happens, there'll be no more NATO. That's what I want to see. So on this note, man, I think I'm looking forward to Trump invading Greenland, and it will be interesting to see. He started with Norway already. That's why Norway didn't get the peace prize. They ain't high water with Trump. So it'll be our next discussion on Friday. We will pick on why it said now Europe sending troops to Greenland. It's late. Let Trump invade the place. Let NATO break off. So Lincoln, back to you.
Well, thank you, Paul. And I think I will look at it from a different perspective. Trump doesn't really necessarily have to invade or forcefully take Greenland for Europe to wake up. I think European countries have already started waking up, and you can see that Great Britain, France, and Germany, I think they deployed military to Greenland. But somebody was joking.
Hold on. British just said one person.
No, but even if they send half person in that military action. So, but the thing is that when a group of people think that they are insurmountable, they can fight, and they don't have any more enemy to fight. They can fight among themselves. You see, what if Trump had a cause to go and invade another innocent country? You see, all the European countries lining up behind in the name of NATO, like what they did in Iraq and what they did in Libya. But this time, there is no visible enemy that they all can go fight. So they turn among themselves. And this is the behavior of the Western world, or I don't know, should I say the white people? I don't want to sound a little bit racist here, or I mean not racist, but
they call them the West.
Yeah, the West. Because if you got 10 or 2, 3 Westerners, and you are an African, you are an Asian, or any different ethnicity among them, you will be the target for them. They will hate you, they'll do everything to you. But the moment you turn your back, the 3 or 4 of them remain, then they will be doing that thing to that, among themselves. They'll be hating among themselves. When one of them leave, the other 3 will begin to cast about them. When the other 2 leave, the other 2 will, but when you are the different nationality among them, then you will be the target. So you see, now that no more outside enemy, they turn it to themselves. So again, I would tend to agree with you that let them do it among themselves and let's see, so that they will feel what other people can feel. Okay, that Trump will come and forcefully take Greenland. If anybody's staying away, bomb the whole damn place, and let people die innocently. People who got no reason die, they die. Then they'll say, oh, so this is what we can be doing in other countries. But again, it's bad. And my poor Norway is so cool, and we're so silent, we're so quiet, we let disturb anybody. That's why we can give the peace prize. I know who put Trump on our people, and we get it made the peace prize we in for nothing Trump we. But I do support any military action in Greenland, and I do not also support the purchase of Greenland. This is a country by itself. We're not in the colonial days that you can go and say we want this place. Hey man, even how we my small password there again, nobody can say I want to take it. I will die before you take it. It can happen. And I think European countries are now seeing it. They know what they've been doing outside, and now they are standing up. And I was happy. You said Great Britain said 1 soldier. Yeah, that's important. The presence of 1 soldier is important. It means military presence. And I think I welcome that. Now, Trump will have a second thought that, oh no, I cannot just go and do this. The one person that Great Britain sent, and I don't know how many people Germany sent, and I think Norway also sent some people. That alone signifies that, yes, Europeans, we are standing together. And the good thing is that they are all part of the NATO. Norway is the Secretary General of the NATO now. Okay? Norway holds that position. So you said because they did not receive Nobel Peace Prize, which is now your property, which they decide, the committee decide who will get it based on your work, but you think you can force it and you didn't get it, so you take a country to be your enemy. That would be the breakdown of the very NATO. Okay? Remember that Norway, I told you, Norway is the Secretary General, they hold that position. So they are privy to importing sensitive documents for NATO. So Mr. Trump must be a joke to think that he can just walk anywhere and try to do what he wants to do. But all in all, we don't want any military action. We want a peaceful solution to this thing. And everything that I say is my opinion. And then every other person here is saying is their opinion. The platform is only facilitating what we have to say. So when I come into America, you want to stop me from the airport, you make sure you put me back on the same plane. I'll come back to my cool Norway. But guys, I think it was a good show tonight, and to end up on the voting right for diaspora Liberians, I think it's a good thing. We need that. How long it takes, who will facilitate it, we don't know yet. But we that are proposing the idea must fight and we must continue to persevere, because if we just propose the idea and look at the possible roadblocks and then we stop, then it means that we're not serious. We got to break through those log jams and roadblocks and remove all of the log jams. I want to say thank you very much for being with us. If you join us for the first time, this is the Bottom Line Liberia Discussions. My name is Linford Paul. The Lord Play is there in London, and Francis Mensah is in Sweden. Tonight we've had a wonderful, wonderful time. Our colleague Jemar had to leave us because of some conditions. He got the I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but he probably got a stomach pain and he had to go to do some quick treatment. And so we want to say Jemar get well soon, and we hope to be back here on Friday this week. And I wish time we'll bring you some more information. Paul, I don't know, but there is some little mystery that I want us to take us home. My most favorite artist in Liberia now is the youngest, and her name is
Papi E.T. baby. Give me that. To my baby. Boy, give me that. We get soccer, we get dresser, we get Scooby-Doo. We get Casabonne like checking phone. We get Palopo, we get